There's the huge proliferation of data now. We call this big data because it's big, it's enormous, and there's a lot of it. So the problems now that companies are facing is, what do you do with this capability of always available systems, always available phones, always available devices, so the mobility side of the house. So now you have executives that are sitting there with their untethered machine saying, hey, I can get access to all this data. And all of a sudden there's all this unstructured data on the outside world too. So the social media events, the web data. So companies now are saying, hey, if I get an advantage of knowing what's happening outside in the social media world, and my customers now have these mobile devices that are always on, always available, they're sending all this information back to us, we're collecting it, and now these companies have this huge data problem. So what do we do about it? What we do now is we're wrapping around these enterprise data warehouses that have near real-time, in-memory capabilities. So imagine a world where we used to have this delayed reaction of getting reports. Forget it, game's over. Now we're talking about is real-time analytics on top of real-time data stores, massive amounts of data, because we can afford it. Computing power is there, we can do it in the cloud, we don't have this latency problem, and now the analytics really become what the first order of problem solving. So if I can know what's happening in near real time, wow, what an advantage that gives me. I know what's happening to my frontline customers. I know what's happening, my internal customers, that is. I know what's happening with my customers that are driving revenue, maybe the problem set customers that are actually driving costs because they're calling me for needs. So I can start running those two curves, the revenue curve and the cost curve, in favorable directions in near real time. So that's what big data is giving us. They're giving us a huge opportunity to work on top of these large amounts of data sets in near real time. And then analytics is really where the game is played, now that we have the computing power to do that.